Welcome to Healthy Living. My guest today is Dr. Mark Hyman, the best-selling author spreading the message that food is medicine. Take a look.
Dr. Mark Hyman is an 11-time New York Times bestselling author, a physician and health advocate who has dedicated his life to wellness. He says in order for you to improve your health and stay fit, you have to use food as medicine. In his cookbook, Food, What the Heck Should I Cook?, Mark offers easy, satisfying recipes that not only taste great, but can also improve your body's overall function and keep you fit for life.
Welcome, Dr. Hyman. So your new cookbook, Food, What the Heck Should I Cook? I love the title. Is actually now your 12th bestseller.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Why do you think this message is catching on so well?
Well, people are so confused about what to eat. You know, one day eggs are good for you, then they're bad. One day fat's bad, then it's good. You know, and it just makes people crazy. And then there's the diet wars, you know, vegan, paleo, low-fat, keto, this, that. And so I wanted to create a common sense approach that's founded on science to help people upgrade their health and upgrade their ingredients in their food and upgrade their biology.
One of my all-time favorite books, in fact, I give this as gifts, even to my mother, is the book right before this called Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? Which to me just captures the frustration people have and the confusion people have, and it's all in here. But this brand new cookbook is a standalone book. You don't need this one to understand it.
If you want to know science, you're geeky like me, you want the backup of why I say what I say, and you know the philosophy I have, which is the Pegan diet, which is it's kind of a joke to make fun at the paleo and the vegan, the diet wars. Say, look, we all agree on the common sense principles of what to eat. It should be whole, real food, right? It shouldn't be necessarily plant-based because Twinkies and Honey Nut Cheerios and Frosted Flakes are plant-based, right?
Oh, very good point.
So we want to eat a whole food, a plant-rich diet with lots of fruits and veggies, nuts and seeds, whole grains and beans, and we want a lot of good fats. We want to get rid of the starch and sugar because that's what drives obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, dementia, you name it. And we also want to eat foods, if they're from animals, that are raised in ways that are humane to the animals, that are good for the planet and don't cause climate change, and that are good for you, which is more grass-fed, organic, pasture-raised animals. And make sure you do the right thing by the animals because you don't want to mess up our planet and your health and everything. So the factory farm animals are bad. So it goes through, how do you pick from each of the areas what grains, what beans, what fruits, what nuts, what seeds, what veggies? And so I go through all of that in the book, but then the cookbook makes it super simple. So you get to eat the same comfort foods like crimini chili, turkey lasagna, you got pancakes, lemon, blueberry, grain-free pancakes, and maple harvest crunch with coconut whipped cream. So you don't have to suffer. It's not expensive, it doesn't take a ton of time, and you get to have delicious food that upgrades your biology, your health, and it does it so by just upgrading the quality of the ingredients in your food.
So you mentioned these 4 dishes, which I have to say are spectacular. They're all in this cookbook. And can you go through each one of them individually and tell us what we have here?
Well, we'll start with breakfast.
Okay,
breakfast. Everybody loves pancakes. I love pancakes, but most pancakes are just flour and starch and sugar, which causes diabetes. Flour raises your blood sugar more than table sugar. So we use hacks, upgrades. We have coconut flour, cassava flour, which is a root, and we use eggs, which is a great source of protein, pasture-raised egg. We have lemon zest and a lot of yummy little ingredients, a little salt, and it's so simple, so good. And you put the blueberries on there, drizzle maple syrup, and you are not suffering.
Delicious and nutritious.
Yes.
What's next?
And the turkey chili. This is actually not turkey chili, this is crimini chili. So you can, if you're a vegan, you want to use mushrooms. The crimini mushrooms are very meat-like. You can make chili. It's a way to hack in vegetables, so you get to have more carrots, onions, celery, and tomato sauce, lots of spices. Spices are the medicine cabinet. That's really where your pharmacy is, Pharmacy, like I talk about in my podcast, The Doctor's Pharmacy. And you want to include all those spice ingredients. You can add grass-fed beef if you want, and a little avocado on top and a cilantro, and it's just such a powerhouse of food as medicine, and it tastes so good. And of course, you don't have to give up lasagna, but this is a trick lasagna. It looks good and it tastes good, but it's not bad for you. Why? Because instead of noodles, we use zucchini strips, and we layer the zucchini strips awesome in the pan. We put a little of the turkey chili on the top of that, layer another zucchini strip, cheddar cheese, but we don't use cow cheese. We use goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
So why do we use goat cheese? Because cow cheese causes problems for a lot of people. It causes gas and digestive issues. It causes congestion. It can cause acne. It can cause inflammation. It's been linked to cancer. But goat cheese is different because the type of protein in the goat milk is very different. It doesn't cause all those symptoms, and people do great. And then you put a little bit of Swiss chard in there. You get the greens, a little basil on top, a little more cheddar cheese on top, and it's just so good. And it takes like 25 minutes to bake in the oven. It's delicious.
Wonderful.
Then,
I'm sold.
And you get dessert.
Dessert. Yeah,
but,
who would have thought that?
Most of the time, our desserts are so bad for us. Sugar is the #1 killer. It causes obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, dementia. They're calling it type 3 diabetes.
Yes.
And we eat way too much, like 152 pounds per person. So you still get to have dessert, but it could be really natural sugar. So we use frozen peaches and cherries. Now, frozen is good. Why? Because frozen is cheaper.
Yes.
It's fresher because it's picked ripe and frozen right at the field. And it's got many more nutrients, and it's easy to store and use. And you bake it in the oven with some flax seeds and some almond flour and get it all kind of nice and gooey. And then you make a harvest crunch, which is a lot of nuts and seeds, pecans, macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts. You can use any nuts in there, seeds, and you put some spice on there, some nutmeg, cinnamon, a little bit of coconut cream. And you whip it up and you put it on top, and it's just so delicious. And you're not suffering.
And, you know, you don't have to be a culinary student to be able to do these dishes. No. They're beautiful and nutritious, but they're really not that hard for beginner cooks.
No, it's super simple, and I lay it all out. I mean, my mother always said, Mark, if you can read, you can cook. Just follow the steps. You know, sometimes you mess it up, but it's not, you know, it's not like you're making a rocket ship that everything has to work perfect. It can be good enough, and you don't have to beat yourself up, but it's important for people to realize that cooking is not hard, it doesn't have to be expensive, and it actually is better for you.
And it's so important for your overall health. This is not a minor thing, your diet. You say that this is probably one of the most important things in all of health, in all of life, is your diet.
Well, think about it. You know, what determines everything about your life? Your energy, your mood, your mobility, the quality of your health. Allows you to work, to show up for your relationships, to serve God. I mean, if you're sitting on the couch feeling horrible, I call it the FLC syndrome. You know what that is?
No.
That's when you feel like crap.
Oh. Is this a medical term?
Yes. It's a medical term. It's actually something
that you coined.
I did.
I'm not sure if they learned that in medical school.
Talking about, they just don't feel good. They're tired, they're achy, they're sore, they have congestion, their gut's not right, they got headaches. You know, it's just when you don't feel great. And most of that is caused by the food we're eating and the food we're not eating.
The concept of food as medicine is really very foreign to a lot of people.
Yeah.
They don't realize that it really can heal you from certain diseases, and you have lots of examples in your own personal life.
You know, the thing is that most people don't realize that food isn't just calories. It's information. It's instructions that speaks to everything in your body. It controls your hormones, your brain chemistry, your immune system, your microbiome, your gut, everything by every single bite. So you're literally upgrading or downgrading your biology by what you eat. And there's a patient I just remember came to our clinic at the Ultra Wellness Center, Janice, and she had type 2 diabetes. She was 243 pounds. She was on insulin. She had heart failure. She had kidneys that were starting to fail. Liver was failing, high blood pressure, pile of meds. And she was 243 pounds, and she was going out fast at 66. Within 3 days of eating like this, she got off her insulin. Within 3 months, she got off her medications. Her blood sugar was normal. Within a year, she got off everything. Her kidneys got fixed. Her heart failure got fixed, which never happens. Her blood pressure normalized. Her blood sugar was perfect. And she was off all her medications, and she lost 116 pounds and saved $20,000 in copay for her medication.
Well, this is great information, and we have a lot more when we come back. More with Dr. Mark Hyman, author of the brand new book, Food, What the Heck Should I Cook? Stay with us.
Life is better with a good night's sleep. Get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
I'm Ephraim Graham, and this is Studio 5. Cruise with me as I discover the good things happening in the world of music, sports, television, and movies.
The fact that Ryan Coogler was going to be directing the film, I knew that something special was going to happen.
We'll chat with artists at the forefront of entertainment and explore the connection between popular culture and faith.
I asked my pastor, I said, well, does that mean I'm supposed to be a preacher? He says, well, no, you already have a pulpit.
Watch Studio 5 Wednesday night at 9:30.
Remember for a moment what it was like to be a child. You believed every story you were told. You saw a world full of endless possibilities. What stories will the world's orphaned and at-risk children believe? We believe the Bible tells the only story truly worth believing. We believe that every child should have the opportunity to dream, the chance to take challenges and turn them into possibilities, the chance to stand on the promises of God, to recognize their place in the greatest story ever told. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Theirs is a world of endless possibilities. They are looking for a story to believe. We will tell them that story. Will you join us?
Welcome back, and we're talking with Dr. Mark Hyman, author of the book, Food, What the Heck Should I Cook? And you work at the world-famous Cleveland Clinic at the Functional Medicine Center. Functional medicine, kind of a new thing. A lot of folks don't know really what it is.
What is it, right? Well, I kind of joke. I said, well, it's the opposite of dysfunctional medicine, and everybody knows what that is. You go to the doctor, you got 10 different problems, they give you 10 different pills, there's all interactions and side effects, and you still don't feel that much better, right? So functional medicine is about looking for the cause. It's about dealing with the whole person. You know, I often take care of people with so many different problems, right? High blood pressure, diabetes, reflux, sinus issues, headaches, you know, a whole list of problems, which is why I call myself a holistic doctor, because I take care of people with a whole list of problems. And I think people understand that, and I think functional medicine gets to the root cause. It treats the system, not the symptoms, and the most powerful tool we use, the most powerful drug, is food, because it changes every single bit of your biology. Every system in your body is controlled by what you eat.
I actually saw one of your patients who couldn't find an accurate diagnosis, and then you put her on the right diet and supplements, and all of her symptoms went away, and oh, by the way, she lost weight. And usually that's not even the main
it's a side
purpose.
Effect. So functional medicine is really a science of creating health. We don't really so much diagnose disease as imbalances that we need to correct. We take out the bad stuff, we put in the good stuff. The body's so intelligent that it repairs and heals itself. And it's so powerful.
So people are like, yes, yes, functional medicine, I'm on board. Where do I see a functional medicine specialist in my area?
Well, you know, that you can see a functional medicine doctor by going to ifm.org and looking at Find a Practitioner, and there's certified practitioners in most areas of the country. You can come to our Ultra Wellness Center in Massachusetts, which we have, you know, over 60 years of experience doing functional medicine with our team there collectively, and the Center for Functional Medicine at Cleveland Clinic is an incredible resource. So there's a lot of great places to go, and people who are struggling with autoimmune disease, with neurodegenerative issues, with mood disorders, with diabetes, cardiovascular disease, skin disorders, all the things that basically we have struggle dealing with in traditional medicine, we do great with functional medicine. So we don't want to throw out traditional medicine.
Right.
I mean, you know, I had atrial fib last year. I needed an ablation. I got a little zap, a little electrical problem. No problem. I wasn't going to fix it by eating better.
Right.
But for most of the problems, we go in and get more pills and more pills. 6 out of 10 Americans have a chronic disease. 40% have 3 or more chronic diseases.
Right.
And the cost of these diseases are bankrupting our nation. And yet most of it can be fixed in the kitchen, not in the doctor's office.
Oh, that is so depressing on one end and so hopeful on the other. Now,
it's so great.
Does this diet work for almost everyone? For example, if you have a person with one medical problem and then you have someone with this or this,
well,
do they all need the same diet?
There are foundational principles, right? Don't eat junk, right? If it's, I always joke, I speak at churches, I say, it's easy to know what to eat. You need to know 2 things. One, did God make it? Or did man make it, right? Did God make an avocado? Yes. Did God make a Twinkie? No, right?
Some people might think that, but then he didn't.
So it's really easy. Even a kid in kindergarten can understand that.
Right.
That's the first principle. Eat whole, real food, unprocessed food. You know, if you eat processed food, 60% of our diet is processed food. For every 10% of your diet that's processed food, your risk of death goes up 14%. It was estimated that over 11 million people die every year around the world from ultra-processed food. That is more people than die from anything else. And imagine if there was Zika or Ebola or anything else killing that many people, we'd have a global effort to solve the problem. And yet we keep on eating the same horrible food that's pushed on us by the food industry. And you know what? We can change that in our own homes, in our kitchens, in our schools, in our churches, in our workplaces. You know, we did a program with Rick Warren at Saddleback Church called the Daniel Plan, which is a faith-based wellness program. We didn't put people on a diet. We got people educated about how to take care of their bodies. God gave us these bodies, these temples, and we're supposed to take care of them. And we just gave them the instruction manual. Whole foods, a little exercise, sleep, relaxation. They lost 250,000 pounds in a year. They reversed all sorts of chronic diseases, from depression to autoimmune diseases to digestive disorders. And you know, it was so easy for them. And they did it, you know why? Because they had each other.
Yes.
You know, they had
camaraderie and the support group.
Support group. So, so, you know, getting healthy is a team sport.
Right.
We do better together. And I think if you understand the power of love, I call it the love diet, which is love, and food, and you get health. It's pretty simple.
Right. And you know what's so great about the support system is, you know, these processed foods, especially sugar, they can be addictive.
Yes.
So you need that support group, just like getting off of any other addictive substance.
You know, it's interesting. I like many of you, probably over the holidays, went a little off the rails, and
guilty.
You know, guilty.
I'm trying to hide it.
And you know, I was starting to like crave. Now I'm pretty healthy, but I started to crave sugar. Now, if you have a bunch of belly fat, your hormones are screwed up and you're going to want it all the time. So I was craving it. And so I did a little cleanse at the beginning of the year. I started eating only vegetables and whole simple foods. We did a 3-day juice cleanse. And now I'm like, gosh, I don't want it. Like I mean, we had an office party the other day and there was cake and cookies, and I might try, but I was like, I don't even want that. And I didn't care about it anymore. So you literally can change your brain chemistry and your biology simply by doing this.
Love it. And you don't have to let some sort of substance control you. This is fantastic.
And we have also, for people who want a little help, we have something called the 10-day reset program. They can go to getpharmacy.com and learn how to do a 10-day reset with their biology and use these principles to get healthy and feel great and lose weight. And it's super simple.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to continue our conversation with Dr. Mark Hyman right after this short break, so stay tuned.
Hey, if you're tired and exhausted all day, you can't think clearly, and you really just need a cup or even a pot of coffee to get through your day, then join me, Dr. Josh Axe, for this new series where I'm going to teach you how to transform your diet and use essential oils and supplements to get a better night's sleep.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 to get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
It's about the competition.
I kind of put that pressure on myself, and I think people had expectations.
It's about overcoming.
We use this phrase all the time: keep chopping, keep practicing hard.
It's about going the distance.
You know, I think as a father, it's my job, you know, to lead. Just be the best husband and father I can be.
Watch Going the Distance with Sean Brown Saturday night at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Welcome back, and Dr. Mark Hyman is here to discuss something we all have to be aware of, the flu. What is your opinion of what is going on so far in this flu season in America?
Well, you know, every year there are different strains of flu, and some can be more serious than others, and this year's a particularly nasty one. That's the bad news. The good news is there's a lot you can do to protect yourself.
Such as?
Well, you know, most people think get the flu shot, but the truth is the flu shot doesn't work for everybody, and it actually can't prevent all flus. So the most important thing you can do is figure out how to take care of your immune system. And it's super simple. You eat the right foods. So get rid of sugar, processed foods, which suppress your immunity. Eat whole foods, lots of vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds and lots of delicious, yummy foods. And sleep, so important for your immune system. Get 8 hours sleep. Turn off all the lights in your bedroom early. Get your phone out of your bedroom, stay off the screens, make sure you get a good night's sleep, 8 hours of sleep. Exercise is also great for your immune system, boost your immunity, and also vitamin D. You know, studies have shown that you can reduce the flu by 75% by getting your vitamin D levels up, and almost 80% of Americans are low in vitamin D. Plus, I often take supportive nutrients like zinc and selenium and vitamin C, and also various kinds of Asian mushrooms like reishi and maitake and shiitake. These are actually help with your immune system. So there's a lot of things you can do, and I write about it in my blog on drhyman.com. People can Google flu and see what that is, and I think you can get a lot of useful tools for how to support your immune system so you don't get sick. And I'm in the healthcare profession. I've never had the flu.
Wow. And you've been around all those sick people.
And it's not because of the flu shot.
Okay, so what about your advice? I heard that washing your hands was like the #1 prevention.
Well, yeah, you don't. If someone's sick, you don't want to be in body contact with them or touch anything that they've touched, because that's how it gets transmitted. So, you know, it's important to be aware of. You can do the handshake with the elbows, you know, that's okay.
And I guess it goes without saying, stay home if you're sick.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go into a workplace with 100 people and get everybody sick. You know, that just happened in my office. It had to shut down for a day. I mean, you just have to use common sense.
What about antivirals?
Antivirals can be helpful if you're sick and are worth a try, for sure, if you're feeling really bad. And I think that's something that we have in our toolkit, but it doesn't work like for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And are you a proponent of the flu shot, or do you think the people don't really need it?
Well, you know, it's interesting. When I graduated from medical school and when I was trained, the CDC, our government, said that only people who were very sick, diabetes, lung diseases, heart failure, or had asthma, or kids who have developmental issues should get the flu shot. Now they're saying everybody should get it from 6 months until they die. I think there's challenges with that, and certain scientific groups have challenged that notion. I think it's a good idea in general for people to get the flu shot, but I don't think they should think it's like a cure-all that's going to fix everybody, because it only is about 50% effective, even on a good day. So you have to do all these other things to take care of yourself.
Right.
Don't rely just on the shot.
All right. Well, this is great information, because the flu season is going to be around through April in general. So it's good for us to strengthen that immune system. Great advice. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, more with Dr. Mark Hyman. Stay tuned.
To have sex before you marry is a bad idea.
Don't tell me there's no such thing as gun violence.
That just depends on your definition of when life begins.
Watch Dan and Dale tackle trending topics that test your faith on the next Faith Wire, Monday night at 9:30. The Global Lane takes you around the world, providing facts over fiction.
What might rising trade and geopolitical tensions mean for you on the home front?
With over 45 years of experience, award-winning journalist Gary Lane brings you the truth from a global angle.
What about the issue of immigration?
World news analysis you won't see anywhere else.
And it's all right here on the Global Lane.
Watch The Global Lane, Thursday night at 9:30.
We're back with Dr. Mark Hyman, the author of the new bestseller, Food, What the Heck Should I Cook? I love the title. And you're so passionate about food and the food industry, which in America is pretty messed up.
Yeah, you know, I'm a doctor, and I see patients, and what I've learned is that food is the best medicine, and I can cure them with food most of the time. But then I began to think, well, as a functional medicine doctor, what's the cause of the food that they're eating? Well, it's the food system. And what's the cause of the food system? It's our food policies. And then what's the cause of our food policies? It's the lobbying interests of the food industry on the government.
Absolutely.
So I wrote a book called Food Fix. It's coming out in February 2020, on the 25th of February.
Oh, so coming up.
Yes, very soon. And it really lays out how each of us can play a role in helping transform the food system, because it is causing almost all of our global crises. 6 out of 10 Americans are sick. 75% of us are overweight, and 80% of the diabetes and obesity is in the developing world. It's the economic burden of that. You know, we have a $22 trillion national debt, and by 2026, we're going to run out of money in the Medicare Trust Fund, so we better fix this. And it also causes poverty, violence, mental health issues, behavioral issues. Kids can't learn eating a crappy diet.
Right.
We can't recruit enough people for the military because they're overweight and are unfit to fight. 70% get rejected. And of course, not only all those social issues, but also climate and environment. We're destroying our soil. We have 60 harvests left. We're running out of water. And we have climate change accelerating because 50% of the cause of climate change is our food system, how we grow it and waste it. We waste 40% of our food. So the book is about how do we fix those things? What are the solutions? What are the policy changes? What can individuals do? What can businesses do and innovate to actually change this? And it's a very hopeful message, because I think people need to understand if we don't fix this, we're in trouble. You know, we're facing what we call the 6th extinction, the extinction of the human race.
Well, it's very encouraging to me to know that you believe that we can fix it. Because a lot of people are like, yes, I understand this is all messed up, but it's too big.
No, we can fix it. We change the way we grow food through regenerative agriculture. We start eating more whole foods and get rid of processed foods. It's good for everything. It's good for people. It's good for the planet. It's good for the economy. It's good for everything.
Well, Dr. Mark Hyman, thank you so much for being here on Healthy Living. What a treat. What a blessing. And once again, the book is Food, What the Heck Should I Cook? And thank you as well for tuning into Healthy Living. We'll see you again next time.